Hi, my name is Joe Whitson. I'm the writer and founder of Cultivating True Character. Cultivating True Character consists of 2 modules designed to show young men who are either thinking about or entrenched in gangs where gangs lead and what gangs really are. Many times growing up in that environment, there's a lot of misconceptions of what a gang stands for and what the ultimate goal of a gang is. And these young men, they're getting lost believing that it's one thing when in actuality they find out later on in life that it's another. The first session is, our module is called Gang Awareness. And it's basically, as the name shows or says, it's making them aware of what gangs are, who joins them and why, what type of people join, gets them to ponder the 5 roads for a gangster, because there's only 5 roads. It's addiction, serious injury, incarceration or on the run, death, and change. Of course, if they choose to change, then from there many more roads open up. But as long as they remain in the lifestyle, they only have those 5 to pick from. Now they can venture from one to another. They could be the addict who goes to prison and dies. Or they could be the person who was an addict, got seriously injured, and then died. Or they could be the guy who got addicted, got incarcerated, and then changed their life. But they remain within those 5 roads. The cycle of gangs, which is the second module, is basically talks about the cycle and how it affects the individual's family, and even the individual's neighborhood, and how the destabilization of the communities happens when individual families are corrupted by this lifestyle. The 8 points of interest that I'll be coming from or talking about will be: number 1 is no involvement, number 2 is curiosity or peer pressure, number 3 is a sponsorship, where after the curiosity, someone decides to say that he has what it takes to be a part of what we believe in and stand for. Number 4 is the initiation. Number 5 is where they start representing after they're initiated. Number 6 is where they're banging, where they're really all out there and they're hurting people, they're committing crimes, they're selling drugs, they're doing things to bring money in and make the gang feel like they have power. Number 7 is the point of no return, in which the individual starts believing that this is what he'll be doing the rest of his life, or there's no other options for him. And then finally, if they continue, the last point of interest will be death, in which they're engulfed by the lifestyle and it stills their life. I think it's important, that young men, at least, they're going to decide what they want to decide, but at least they have the tools and the understanding of the path they're on and where they're headed. And that's what this course is designed, or these modules are designed to do, is to basically educate them on these things and on these topics so they can make an educated choice instead of just falling victim to something that wasn't even what they thought it was. You might ask what qualifies me to teach this stuff, and I'll tell you a little bit about myself. My mother was raped to conceive me. She was a heroin addict for over a decade before she switched to the crack. She told me to do right, but she modeled behavior that was contrary. So eventually I did what I seen rather than what I was told. At 17, I was facing 20 years. I escaped and went on the run. I didn't know I would be gone for 10 years. And I didn't know the statute of limitation for my crimes was 7 years. At 19, I was facing new charges, which added up to 28 years in another state. My life was spiraling out of control. I was entrenched in gang lifestyle, addicted to drugs, and just was trapped by a male belief system that taught me everything that was wrong was actually right. So I understand and am able to bridge the gap because I understand what these kids are going through, what they're living with, and what they're living in. I don't have a bunch of degrees. I don't have a lot of the other things that some people say that you need to do this, but I've found I've been much more qualified to do this work than many professionals. I also am a facilitator for Project Impact, which is the #1